On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Cloaking the whole idea that he can't hold down and be faithful to and really be a leader over his whole household. And you trying to tell me that we the same? We not the same. Right. My whole life is a reflection of the thing that I've been living and preaching the entirety of you see me on this platform. The last 8 years that you see me on YouTube, right. I live it. And everybody that ever comes in my sphere will always benefit as a result of my leadership because I'm a servant leader first. So we can let them word salad it all up. We're going to let them bury itself all night. Right. I'm going to let them say some things and I'm not even going to reply to it. Right. But the reality of it is that talk is cheap. But my life, my real life, my household, the entrepreneurial businesses that I built, not that my father built, not businesses that I run on behalf of my father, stuff that I got out of the ground.
Keep going.
Me working my way all the way up until.
Keep going.
Look at him. Look, he emotional.
No, keep going.
My way all the way up into executive leadership without any kind of help. That's real leadership. Okay. I show it.
Okay.
And so if you want to know, I tell you what, get 10 girls, get 10 girls, 10 women, and ask them who would they rather follow. I guarantee you it's going to be a difference.
But hold on before you guys respond. Just hold you guys' thoughts and let y'all respond. Let's go to Courtney first and get her opinion.
But I think it's a clear difference of controlling and leadership. When I think about someone being controlling, it's I'm going to make you be what I want you to be by any means necessary. And so with controlling, it's I have no say. It's like I'm an object and I'm not a person. And you want me, you're very, everything that I do, whether how I dress, who I talk to, being around my family, you want to make sure that I'm doing it to appease you. And so for me, that's controlling, and no one wants to be controlled. Again, I'm a human, I'm not an object. Right. But good leadership, you don't have to do that. You have a particular vision, and, being around good leadership brings out the best in me and not the worst in me. I'm not feared of you. I'm grateful and I praise you for what you do and what you've done for me. You bring out something in me that maybe I didn't know about myself. That's great leadership. And I think the most thing that we haven't talked about is communication. The one thing that lacks when someone is trying to control you, they're not going to communicate with you because they don't care anything about what you feel or what you have to say. It's my way or the highway. Mm-hmm. With great leadership, you encompass my thoughts. Now you might be the leader and say, okay, so this is what we're going to do. But hey, baby, what do you think about this? Because I have a decision that I need to make. And because I love you, because you're my wife, you're my girlfriend, hell, you're my coworker or something, with leadership. I want your input. I want to make sure that you feel like you're needed and wanted here because you are. And because you are a person. So I think the thing that we haven't talked about is communication. And communication is as important in any leadership. If you work and I did hotel management, what made me or what I try to do to be a good communicator was, tell me what you guys think. What can I do better, as a manager? These are my expectations. Tell me, what do you expect of me? So you feel included.
Well, Courtney, I'm glad you said that. I want to go back to my baby K, what she said. My baby K said, she said the key word about Anton. She said creepy. Very creepy. Because Anton's a great businessman. And he knows when you have employees or investors, they have to feel a sense of ownership. In your vision or your company, you have to give them a sense of equity. Whether they really have it or not, they have to feel like they're going to work every day and they're building their own company, even though you might be getting all the profits. So for you to say that you want to have a dictatorship, that is completely crazy. Because as a great businessman that I know you are, you're saying that you don't really have a succession plan after you're gone, right? Because what happens is if you notice, I'm from Africa, right? We have a lot of coup d'etats. It's because they don't pass on the power. They try to keep the power as long as possible. And that's unhealthy. A real successful organization, nation, or partnership or relationship, the relationships are symbiotic, equally sharing. Sometimes you might be better in cooking, so you get to cook. I might be better in cleaning, so I get to clean. But it's not you tell me what to do, it's who does it the best. And that's the person that takes the lead for that particular department. But what you're saying is, I'm a creep And I want to make sure that you fucking listen to me because I'm a creep. I'm not really a leader. I just want you to do what I'm saying because I'm a creep.
King,
King, so funny.
Can I ask you something, King?
Yeah, talk to me.
Okay, let me ask you this because I think when you fam, when you was on Lunch with Lauren, I said in the comments, I have a different kind of respect for a man that references his father.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that you and Anton talk about, me and JR, we a different breed, right? I relate with JR on a lot of levels, right? And even when we did King Talk and we had Larry on, I was like, dang, I found myself like, dang, that was something different that I didn't experience, right? Whatever, whoop-de-woo. But I respect you and Anton on like a different level. And one thing that's that's a common thread, is you both refer to your fathers, right? And so because Anton says, hey, my situation is benevolent dictatorship. And I assume that, because of the content that I've consumed from him, and I understand in part, what he said, which is before all of us, and Anton can correct me if I'm wrong, his father was a benevolent dictatorship.
Right.
What I would ask you, King, is because even on the show last week, you and Anton agreed on a lot more.
Right.
And do you not see your father as a benevolent dictatorship?
That was. I'm glad you brought that question up.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you brought that question up because it was crazy. Growing up as a kid, my father was the leader of the house, right? He earned my mother respect because he flew her to America, paid for her to go to nursing school, paid for her brother to go to school. So he already earned her respect. As I got older and I was a man, I got to see what it really was. My father was the lead superficially, but it was my mother who he consulted with for everything. She gave the appearance that he ran it, but they were a team. They were a team. It wasn't just him doing everything. They were really a team, but to create that hierarchy, the traditional hierarchy, because my father's not a talker. He's not a speaker. He's a doer. He rarely talks. He's not like me. He's a man of action. My mother will be the speaker, but my father will lead her, and then he will counsel with her. But when I got older, I got to see the dynamics of what it really was. It was a real partnership.
Right, and please, Anton, please cut me off when I'm out of pocket. But and don't allow me to speak for a 39-year-old man who's multimillionaire, and you guys are punching in the same weight class or whatever, or somebody's punching down or whatever. And what I'm saying is, Anton has actually said on the platform and on his platform multiple times that, I defer to my wife, and maybe we arguing semantics or whatever. I just want to make sure we're on the same page because
really, I don't know why you trying to create so much peace, man. I mean, the thing about it is that be honest with you, bro, it's a clear difference. It's a clear difference between us, honestly. And the difference often at times lie in the results. Like, right. I know what leadership look like because I'm a byproduct of it. I've been living in it, especially with my own household. And often at times I always say, because again, I refer back to what it is that I believe. And here's the thing. Here's what people have to understand. Sometimes you got to let people bury themselves. So It's not always necessary for me to always come back to him and reply to everything he says. He burns his own self up. You know what I'm saying? But often at times what you have to understand is that it's easy. Don't get emotional. Give me a second. I'm gonna let you respond.
Thank you, sir.
Often at times, it's often reflected in your real life examples. And so the thing about it is that first you have to be faithful in little, and then you rule over much. People that can't even hold down a relationship, that can't even get married, that don't even, he's justifying, being sexually liberated as a form of cloaking the whole idea that he can't hold down and be faithful to and really be a leader over his whole household. And you trying to tell me that we the same? We not the same. Right. My whole life is a reflection of the thing that I've been living and preaching the entirety of you see me on this platform. The last 8 years that you see me on YouTube, right. I live it. And everybody that ever comes in my sphere will always benefit as a result of my leadership because I'm a servant leader first. So we can let them word salad it all up. We're going to let them bury itself all night. Right. I'm going to let them say some things and I'm not even going to reply to it. Right. But the reality of it is that talk is cheap. But my life, my real life, my household, the entrepreneurial businesses that I built, not that my father built, not businesses that I run on behalf of my father, stuff that I got out of the ground.
Keep going.
Me working my way all the way up until look at him. Look, he emotional.
No, keep going.
My way all the way up into executive leadership without any kind of help. That's real leadership. Okay. I show it.
Okay.
And so if you want to know, I tell you what, get 10 girls, get 10 girls, 10 women, and ask them who would they rather follow. I guarantee you it's going to be a difference.